What other early bets kind of catch your eye here ahead of Game 6? Like, we know the Warriors are the team on the brink of winning another NBA championship, but it's the Celtics wearing the favorites tag, 4-point favorites at home for Thursday night.
I think the Celtics can cover the spread if they take care of the basketball. And another thing to keep an eye on is I believe that the extender is coming into Boston in Scott Foster. After we saw, I'm sorry, I can't go a full segment without mentioning just how horrible Tony Brothers was last night. This man got 2 finals game, and it was bad. But besides the referees and besides the Celtics, I'm actually taking a look at a player prop, and I'm going to show Andrew Wiggins some love here. He was the best player on the floor in Game 5. I think it's fair to say he's outplayed Jason Tatum in this series, and his points and rebounds line is only set at 26.5 right now. If his momentum continues to carry over, he should easily clear that number in Game 6. He's racked up 39 and 36 combined points and rebounds over the last 2 games, and he's really been the reason the Warriors are up in this series. So, yeah, Wiggins, over 26.5 points and rebounds.
Okay, Friar, what about you, man? Any bets catch your eye ahead of Game 6 here in a couple nights?
I think that's a great call by Jeff on Andrew Wiggins. That's a great find right there. For me, I was looking at the first quarter, outcome. I'm looking at the Celtics -1.5. After such an ugly showing, I can't imagine them not trying to respond in that first quarter. I am leaning them to cover overall in this game, but I'm still just a little more comfortable going with that first quarter, them covering about 1.5, just because you have to respond at least in the first quarter, even if you don't sustain it throughout the entirety of the game.
I mean, the Celtics, Whalen, last night, like they sounded confident, believe it or not, like post-game, knowing that they've been in these elimination game situations before.
Yeah, and they're confident with good reason. I think it's really starting to feel like Golden State has some momentum, but the series shifting back to Boston is huge. And like you said, they've played in some pretty huge do-or-die games in these playoffs already. So I don't think anybody's expecting Boston to lay down. I'm probably going to bet Boston in Game 6. I think, Jeff brought up a good point about the refereeing, which was inconsistent at best at times. Yesterday, there were some stretches where I think like 3 calls in a row went against Boston, and it really felt like kind of a backbreaker. So I think there's a good chance that we get the extended series. I like the Andrew Wiggins points rebounds bet. I think his points prop is a little high at 18.5, but he's been rebounding like crazy. He's been like Andre Drummond essentially in this final series. So getting the rebounds is something I'm a little more confident about when it comes to him. And then I would also look at just the made 3-pointers props for Klay Thompson. His number's 3.5, and then Steph Curry, his number's 4.5. And I think at least one of those guys is going to go off in Game 6 here. 4.5 is a high line for just about anybody, but Curry coming off of an 0 for 9 game, I kind of like his chances to bounce back in a pretty major way here.
Yeah, and looking at that total currently too, guys, 210.5. If it closes there, that would be the lowest total of this final series thus far.